What is your daughter's ethnicity?
Our daughter is primarily German and Czech.
She's white.
Caucasian.
She's white.
A shocking revelation from the parents of Spokane NAACP President Rachel Dolezal.
She's a blonde, blue-eyed, freckle-faced girl growing up.
But as you can see, that's clearly changed. Dolezal has reportedly told media outlets that she's part African American and has biracial parents. Ruth Ann and Larry say that's far from true.
Rachel has wanted to be someone she's not.
Her parents say she's always identified with African American culture and art.
Yes, Rachel is a master artist, and so she's able to disguise herself and make her appearance look like any ethnicity.
You know those are your parents.
Yes, I believe they're
You
my
came out of
parents.
that woman's womb.
I believe so.
You pretended to be black. You perpetrated a lie that upset a lot of people. You agree with that, right?
No.
You what?
When it comes to being black, it's not something that I perpetrated or faked. It's just me being me.
Did you misrepresent yourself
In
to
what way?
others? Did you allow others to perceive you one way when you were another way?
I represent myself to be who I am.
Why were people upset?
You'd have to ask them.
Well, people did ask them, and they said that you conned them, you lied. I just don't know why you lied about it.
How is it a lie if it's true?
It's a lie if it's true because you came to that conclusion after the fact, as opposed to being upfront about it at the time. You didn't tell people,
been upfront
I'm
about it.
biologically white, but I define myself as black. I want to be the president of this chapter. That's not what you did. You allowed them to believe that you were biologically black, correct? You said as much.
Race is a political
But you
construct,
said
a
as
social
much.
construct, so therefore whiteness and blackness is not biological.
I agree with that definition. I can make your argument, I think, better than you can. At 4 years old, you were doing things that you were defining yourself as black.
Right.
At 4. Now, that's a pretty innocent definition at that point. That's a pretty non-manipulative definition
Right.
when you're 4 years old.
Black was beautiful, black was
Here's the picture.
inspirational.
Look at this picture. This is like a self-portrait, right? This
Right.
is how you see
I have
yourself.
my curly braids.
I know. So
way back
okay,
then.
that's at 4.
Right.
So if I'm defending you, I'm starting at 4 because man, this is when the self-concept is formed. But this is not what you say in your book. When people go to college, it's often the time where they find themselves and create the lives they want. On page 84 of your book, you say, as I got more involved with the Black Student Association, the more Afrocentric my appearance became. I started wearing my hair in box braids and sporting dashikis and African pattern dresses. So what are you? I was asked all too often. My answers tended to be awkward, tortuous, strained. Because I didn't fit neatly into a box, I'd end up bouncing from one story to the next until I told them nearly everything about my life.
Right.
But doesn't every story begin with, biologically, I'm white, but I define myself from 4 years old as black. And I have devoted my life to that work as an activist. It is a life commitment.
That's exactly how I would start the story. You know,
Now?
no, back then in college, I was those tortuous, strained stories, how I was raised in Montana. So those explanations didn't work. They didn't actually bring forth any kind of understanding to people I was talking to. And so because of that, then I would just I got fatigued with telling this whole long, complicated story, and I just let people identify me as they chose. Because it made social navigation a lot smoother.
So you did it for your convenience, even though you admit that you were allowing them to make an inaccurate assumption.
It wasn't inaccurate, though. I mean, because race is, again, race is not
If they define race
biological.
biologically and they define you as black, you're allowing them to make an inaccurate assumption, however ignorant they may be, because it's more convenient for you to not have to go through the tortuous explanation.
any time that I allowed somebody else to identify me on a racial basis, I wouldn't point to any of those experiences or times as being somehow like out of convenience. It was just to be understood.